What's up everyone, California Potato Soccer here and welcome to another video. Now this is going to be sort of a little set of videos sort of over the course about, you know, stuff that I use and what do I use for doing certain things. And we're going to start with the first one, sort of where you would start. Now one question I get asked all the time is what brush size do I use? I have answered it before and I try and answer it every single time, but I thought, you know what, put it at the start of this video, get it out there, get it out of the way. I use a 00 size brush. Okay, now those of you that have seen all my videos will know I only use one brush. Now, I was using this one's probably going to end up in the bin. There's a lot of bristles on it now that are playing up. I don't use it all that much. This was the one I have been using for probably 5 years, maybe even a little bit longer. But basically I've upgraded to one that's exactly the same. Now, it is Winsor & Newton, I believe, Sceptre Gold 2 size 00. I only use 00s for everything: pinstripes, badges, block colours, stripes, hoops, everything. I only ever use one brush. There'll be painters out there that use more than one brush. I only ever use one. If I can, I will find a link and put it in the description so you guys can maybe get hold of one of these. If you want to go with the same one, I believe it's sable hair, so it's horse hair. I don't think it's synthetic. But yeah, so that's what I'm using at the moment, and now I'll get that question out the way straight away. The second one, we will cover quickly about what I use. Do I use any magnification or painting aids or anything like that? Again, if you've watched my videos and you followed me from the very start of this channel, you will know that no, I don't use any magnification. I have tried in the past. It makes me worse. I can't do it. It's awkward. Same with painting aids, like little holders for the, I know some guys use, you can get them little magnifying things like the clips and things that come off of it. I need to have that feel. I need to feel my figure and know where he is, so I don't use any of that. I hold the bases or their heads, as again you would see if I paint. So if I'm painting the lower part of the body, so basically when I'm painting their legs, their socks or their boots, I'm holding their heads. Anywhere else on the kit, I'm holding the base. I have to have that feel, that sort of tangibility of being able to feel where the player is and how they're feeling in my hand to get my painting right. So don't use any painting aids like that. Magnification, again, no, I don't use it. I'm lucky at the moment, my eyesight's pretty good, so I don't need it. I say I have tried it. I didn't like it. I couldn't get used to it. Didn't like using it, so no, I don't. I just have 2 daylight lamps. So one that's actually a little desktop lamp and one that's on a clip that comes all the way around, both of which are pointing right at me at the moment to help light my videos, so I can't show you them, but yes, I've got both of those, and that is literally it. That is my painting setup. Apart from that, it then comes down to paint. So when I get my figures, I get my figures from Santiago Table Soccer. It's another question I get asked quite a lot. There are a load of other suppliers out there. You guys will find what you like. I just like Santiago. One, because I know Mark. Me and Mark have known each other for a very, very long time. Since, I can't remember when Mark first got involved with the Sceptre Club. I was part of the Sceptre Club way back when I was in my teens. There used to be swap meets all around the country. I used to travel up and down to them. Before Paint Your Own stuff was even around, I was kicking around painting Sceptre. Usually Ref 21 leads. Because it was a blank canvas, it was already white. So if you were going to paint something brand new, you would try and get hold of a 21 lead, which is what everyone was doing. And there probably are a lot of very hooky sides out there in collections and things, but that's how it started. The first people I remember doing U-paint stuff was actually Zuego. I used to have some Zuego painting my own teams. The first two I did were a Real Betis, of course. It was on a green outer black disc, which I was a little bit gutted about because I wanted white. Because at the time I didn't have my Betis. I think I sold that team. And another one I had was a Fiorentina. I know I sold that. My issue with Zuegos was, and it's that issue of Zuego, I can't remember what type they're on now, but their heads always seem too big. Paint-wise, they were fine. The bases were brilliant, and for me, it was harping back to my favourite generation of that heavyweight figure, and Zuego delivered that. And then there was a few others that came around, but Santiago is what I stuck with. Again, I know Mark really well. I know the quality of his product. I know what I'm going to get when I order it. So again, I'll put a link in the description to him. But that is where I get all my figures from because I prefer the heavyweight figure. and I like his selection of bases. So on a purely aesthetic level, that's why I use those figures. There are two types of figures available. You can get flesh plastic coloured figures and you can get white plastic coloured figures, the same as Sceptre offered. Okay, so I used to get both. If I didn't have any white on the kit, I used to buy flesh coloured. If I had white elements in the kit, I would buy white. It got to the point though where I wasn't happy with how my paint was coming out on the skin coloured players or the flesh plastic coloured players. Certain colours don't look right on without being on a white background. So the biggest one for me was always yellow. If you were painting yellow onto flesh coloured plastic, it doesn't come out anywhere near as good as it does on white plastic. So I go on white plastic for everything. Okay, so that's that. And then of course that requires me to always paint skin tones. Now I use 3 colours for skin tones, a Caucasian tone, a black tone, and one in the middle which I would use for my sort of skin colour really. So that's sort of Spanishy looking skin colour. Bulk standard Caucasian I will show you guys now. I'll show you the paint codes. They're all Humbrol matte enamels, as you know. That is pretty much all I use. There are some acrylics in my paint pot over there, or my paint box over there, and during this sort of set of videos we will look at those and I will try and give you examples of when and where I use my acrylic stuff, but I pretty much paint with matte enamel paint. I get mine from a store called Wonderland Models. Again, link I will put in the description. I just find for range of colours and prices, etc, etc, they're really great. So I'll put a link in the description for those guys as well. So let's have a look then. I will flip the old camera around and we will have a look at these paint codes and show you how they come out on a Santiago replica heavyweight Sceptre figure. First one then, as we can see in the shot there, is Humbrol matte enamel number 61. Now I use that for all Caucasian figures. It's pretty much what Sceptre would have used, and when you put it on a figure it looks like this. So that is that paint code there. Nice and easy. Like I say, it's just a base tone I use for all Caucasian players. My mid-tone I will save till last. So Sceptre would probably have used something like this for their black or dark skin players. Matte enamel number 98 is what I use. You can use as well, I think 160, which is like chestnut brown, but I prefer this colour, and when you put it on a figure this is how it comes out. So again, that's what I will use for my black footballers, and then that sort of mid-tone skin colour that I'll put in the middle is known as dark flesh on the matte enamel codes. It is matte enamel 234, and it's probably slightly darker than me, to be fair. I said my skin tone, but so it comes out like this. So those are the base 3 tones that I will use to create my teams. So as a quick look then at the 3 main base paint colours that I will use to paint my teams. Now if I'm doing specific players, then I will tweak those by mixing different parts of them around to get the colour that I want. But that is basically what I use for every single figure that we do. Would be 99.9% of the time it will be straight out the tin, as is. The only thing I will say is always shake first and stir them round. Okay, there are certain colours in Humbrol where the matting agent sinks to the bottom and you end up with a shiny finish, sometimes even a gloss finish if you don't stir them at all, even if you're shaking it. So I've got a colour at the moment, particular my navy blue I have to stir it as I'm using it because it sinks so quickly. If I carried on using it for too long of a time, then what will happen is that paint at the top doesn't have as much matting agent in it, and you get that shine, that sheen on there. Black is another one. Black is another colour that I know I've seen somebody on one of the Facebook groups, Sceptre Revival group, sort of say about they had used the matte black 33 for some hair and boots, and it looked like everyone was wearing Brill cream because it had that shine in it. I'm not 100% sure, but I would say my suggestion would be that maybe they just hadn't stirred it, which is why you will always, mine are all dirty, but I use these little skewers to stir my paint, keep it moving around so it all mixes together, so I get that consistent finish all the way through. But yeah, so that is end of the first video really. So that's kind of a, what do I do? What do I use? What advice would I give? What equipment do I use? So you guys, if you wanted to do something similar, which I would advise you guys to do, get out there. If you want to do it, do it. There's no point waiting around. There's no can't do. I promise you, you can. You will be able to do amazing things if you, first want to commit to it, believe in yourself to do it. Ask questions of people that are already doing it. So fire questions at me. Put them in the comments below. Tweet me. Find us on Facebook. We do have a Facebook page on there as well. But the trouble is, I think there's two. I've made so many. I'm more active on one at the moment. It's Westwood Table Soccer, and it has a little Wolves figure as the page profile picture. So that is the one I'm active on. So if you're going to message me, use that one. Or email us as well, westwood.ts@gmail.com. Or of course, you can go on our website. So www.westwoodtablesoccer.uk. There is a contact form on there. If you want to have a look around, and you can message us through there as well. So yeah, ask people questions, okay? Pretty much everyone I know that paints is more than happy to help other people. If you're looking for acrylic, guys that use acrylics, I would recommend Watsy on Twitter. I will get his Twitter handle underneath here. I can't quite think off the top of my head, but I will put it literally along here now. Get following him, okay? He uses acrylics. He's got, in terms of using acrylics, he's got a much better knowledge than me. But again, I will still show you guys how I use acrylics, but if just straight up acrylic painting, he's really, really good. And he has a YouTube channel as well, so if you click on his Twitter, then you'll be able to find links to his YouTube channel as well. But yeah, ask these guys. Everyone's happy to help producing things. The only thing I'm not going to cover in this video series is decals, okay? I have used them once. I have one team in my collection that has decals on it, and it is literally just the King Power sponsor, okay? I tried decaling one figure because I got a free sort of trial set of a couple of kits. I thought, you know what? I'll give it a bash. I hated it. I couldn't get my head around it. I don't like it. The guys that do it are incredibly talented. To get those little stickers in exactly the right place. But yeah, so I didn't like it. I prefer that traditional hand-painted finish with a little bit of class, you know, bringing that badge into it, being specific with my details, basically taking what Subbuteo did or were trying to do, but making it top level as best I can. And hopefully I do that. Hopefully you guys like what you see from me. But yeah, so without further ado, guys, that is the end of the video. If you've liked it, please give it a thumbs up. It massively helps in the YouTube algorithm. It's so easy for a video or a channel like mine that is as small as it is to get completely lost in the massive world that is YouTube. So give things a like. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe. If you're subscribed and haven't got the bell on, get the bell on again, because if you're subscribed to a lot of things, then in your inbox you'll get pinged through things, and it's very easy for a small channel like me to drop right down to the bottom and you might miss it. So if you get that bell on, you'll be notified every time we upload a video. But yeah, so apart from that, guys, that's about it for today. Oh, and don't forget as well, our official partners, oldschoolfootball.co.uk. We still have that 10% discount code. These guys are amazing. Quality goods. I've shown you guys in a previous video. Polos, hoodies, scarves, t-shirts. These guys are top notch. Okay, the embroidery is brilliant. They're a small local business. Get in there, support these guys. They are trying to make something happen. They are a great service. If you get on them on Twitter as well, at OSF Shop, follow them. They're brilliant. Okay, get on it. That's it, guys. Till the next one, stay safe.